there is an entire chapter on the takeover of NDTV that industrialist Gautam Adani took over in 2022. I'll of course not get into the boardroom aspect of it or what happened, and you've written it in detail. But what I do want to ask you is, as an employee of this company, you're there pretty much from the start. When you heard the news of this takeover, what was going through your mind, and how did it impact the team that you were working with in Venue?
When I first heard it, I didn't believe it. I thought it was just another rumor, another joke, because we had known for some time that there were financial challenges that NDTV was going through. Again, nothing officially, because employees are not always kept in the loop. We knew that there was a crisis, because also for political reasons, in terms of not getting ads, in terms of the viewership of television itself, television news itself going down, the demand for that. But when we heard that Gautam Adani's company had bought NDTV, I know not just me, many other people just didn't believe it at all, because NDTV, as you mentioned earlier, was associated with the other side, whereas Adani was definitely associated with the BJP, with Mr. Modi. And so it just didn't seem possible at all. It just seemed like, what on earth is happening? Then respected financial journalists began tweeting about it, and we found out it was true. We called up our colleagues in Delhi, and we found out it was actually true. Through, like you said, a whole series of financial deals and all that. It was crazy. By that time, I was no longer full-time with NDTV. I was on a consultancy. But I know it just took everybody by absolute surprise, to put it mildly. We didn't know what was happening. There was that transition phase. Then the Roys left. Dr. Prannoy Roy and Radhika Roy, they left the company. And that was kind of like, oh. And I know that many people continued full-time in NDTV, even though they missed the Roys, even though they felt this change shouldn't have happened. Because again, as we discussed earlier, they needed the job, they needed the salary, they had children whom they were educating. It was people needed a job. So they continued, hoping that perhaps the change wouldn't be so much. But the changes did happen, and it has changed a lot now, to put it mildly again. It was a feeling of disbelief initially. I think for many people, it was a feeling of discomfort. But some people did manage and have adapted very well to the changed circumstances. So it really depended individually. But for me, it was disbelief. And I think a certain feeling of sorrow that there was such a change in something we had spent years building up.